let's go ahead and take a live look right inside of that field house that I'm standing outside of right now. We have a crew that's live inside taking a look at the platform where the First Lady will be taking the stage just in a few moments. We know that she arrived a couple minutes ago. We actually saw her come from outside and get right inside there. We know that she should be taking the platform within the next few moments, Anna.
And to accompany her, of course, is Dr. Joe Biden. And can you talk to us a little bit about what's going to happen later on this morning for some of those moms to be at Camp Lejeune?
Sure. One of the really neat things about the kickoff of the tour here at Camp Lejeune is 40 expectant mothers are going to be honored with a baby shower from the First Lady. How neat is that for those moms? These are moms whose husbands might be currently deployed or they might be here at home, but you know it's different from Marine Corps wives and also just military spouses in general. Usually right before a deployment or something along those lines, a lot of these moms could go through their whole term pregnancy, maybe even the delivery, without their spouse by their side. So this is a real neat opportunity for us to see a different side of the First Lady and also the Second Lady. Another special guest joining that adventure will be Martha Stewart, the queen of home crafts. She's going to be the one teaching some of these moms some scrapbooking techniques that's going to help them preserve some of those few precious memories right in the beginning years.
Sounds good, sounds good. And we do know this is Michelle Obama's first visit here at Camp Lejeune, and what we want to talk about is the security. You have been there since before 5 a.m. Talk about your morning before we get right to her speech today.
Oh, it's been a lot of security. Let's go ahead and take a quick live look inside. You might be able to see a few folks standing around there. I know outside I've seen a lot of State Highway Patrol. Troopers are out here. Jacksonville police are out here. We ourselves had to go through some dogs going through our vans just to make sure everything is checked and secure. As you can see, even the Marines that are sitting inside this field house, we saw them going through metal detectors. They want to make sure everything is in place for the First Lady and the Second Lady as well.
Yeah, very big deal there at Camp Lejeune today, and of course, you know, the baby shower, Martha Stewart, the commandant, and, you know, really explain, you know, what the purpose is of her visiting Camp Lejeune. From someone who covers Onslow County, Carly, who better than to give their opinion here? Why do you think she's starting here?
Well, you know, the Camp Lejeune here is one of the largest military installations here along the eastern seaboard. A lot of Marines also begin a lot of their training here. They might come from Parris Island up to Camp Lejeune and disperse through Cherry Point and New River for some of their initial training. So a big base of the Marine Corps as they begin their first 4 years starts here at Camp Lejeune. So even if you're not a Marine who's currently at Camp Lejeune, if you're in the Corps and you're a few years into your career, there's a good chance that your initiative and your work started here at Camp Lejeune. So this is a great opportunity for the First Lady and the Second Lady to really be able to speak to some of these young Marines as well as those who are also a little further along in their career that are directing those young Marines.
Something we do want to see this morning, I'm told by our director in my ear, you have some video of Mrs. Obama getting out of her car. Is there a chance we could roll on that? You could tell Bob.
We're still working on getting you some of those shots. We did see a couple troopers coming through. Let's go ahead and take a look. I hear that we do have some of that video.
Right now. This is interesting.
Yep, if you see some legs walking through. Yeah, if you see just a few legs walking through right behind, I believe there's a Secret Serviceman right there, and behind those tanks you can see right out of those black SUVs, that was the First Lady. That was our first glimpse of her. In a few moments, those inside will be getting their first glimpse as well.
Excellent. Of course.
And also we saw a lot of...
Go ahead, go ahead.
A lot of the video that you're also seeing, we saw quite a few highway patrolmen coming in on motorcycles, just that whole entire motorcade coming through, bringing the First Lady and the Second Lady here to arrive safely, Anna.
So they both are there. Did they come together? That was one of the questions we were talking about here at the station. They came together, which is not likely when they arrive, when the President, Vice President arrives.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. There's a lot of security issues at hand when they come in, and like we mentioned, we saw the dogs out this morning checking even our vans. We saw a lot of law enforcement out here, both local, and we've gone through a lot of security things with the White House as well. Besides just coming on base with Camp Lejeune officials, we've also gone through White House, a credentialing process, all of that to make certain that things are safe and intact here.
One thing I do want to ask you while we wait for the big moment here, can we talk about Martha Stewart? Do we know when she's coming? I know it's not the main event, but do we have any insight on that at all you could share with us?
I know that that's a big event. That's a headline for a lot of these young expectant moms here as well. No word yet on Martha Stewart's arrival. We do know that this is the first time the First Lady, Michelle Obama, has made her way to Camp Lejeune. Her husband has been here previously. Dr. Jill Biden has been on base here before. Not sure about Martha Stewart. This is likely her first time here as well, but she's sure to make an impact for some of these moms and also for their kids later on as they look at some of these scrapbooks together that they learned to make today.
Something interesting to point out, Carly, we're talking about the First Lady, we're talking about Dr. Jill Biden, Martha Stewart, but the reason for these women coming here to the East is for the people in the area, the military families. Have you had a chance to talk to any of these military families to find out what this means to them, how they're receiving it, especially, I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to some of those moms-to-be. Could you give us insight?
Yeah, you know, it's really special, especially talking with some of the young Marine Corps family. You know, this is, in essence, not just the President of the United States, his wife. This is really their Commander-in-Chief, his wife, taking a personal vested interest in them. And that's what makes it so special for those moms in that baby shower, those 40 selected moms here aboard Camp Lejeune. That's a really unique opportunity for them, and we're going to have a unique opportunity to perhaps see another side of Michelle Obama as well as Dr. Jill Biden as they're having some fun with these moms, teaching, learning, sharing some of those experiences. It's relating on a human level. That's a really neat opportunity for those young families. They're certainly looking forward to it.
That's the best part for me in listening to all of this here today. Another question for you. We do know included at that baby shower later on today, after this awaited speech here, looks like there's some activity at the podium, Carly, but real quick, wanted to know, do we have any insight as to what the gifts are that are coming from the White House? Have you heard anything about that?
That has been almost as secret as the First Lady's arrival itself. We haven't heard too much about that, but I'm sure we'll be able to update you with that a little bit later, maybe on News Channel 12 at noon and at 5 or 6. We'll definitely have it by 5 or 6, but like I said, that's been kept pretty top secret too, just as much as the Secret Service agents are out here protecting the First Lady's arrival. I'm sure there's a few folks huddled around those gifts as well to keep that a good surprise.
You know, for the men out there, military men and women and that sort of thing, they understand, you know, obviously the commander-in-chief aspect of it, but it's got a neater tone when I think the woman comes into play, the First Lady, of course, Dr. Jill Biden, and it really brings a tone to it, you know, woman to woman, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's certainly providing that opportunity. And what's really neat about what's the event happening around 9:30 today inside that field house is also, we mentioned the Commandant of the Marine Corps is here. So there's really something for everybody, so to speak, on that platform. We have that relation and that human element, like you mentioned, that woman-to-woman connection, the mother-to-mother connection that's coming later this afternoon, but also some real encouraging words and some real motivation. Just a few minutes ago, before the First Lady arrived, we saw Colonel Lejeune, who is the base commanding officer, address his Marines, telling them, we're excited to have these special visitors here, and they're here to encourage you and to motivate you. We hope that you have a warm welcome for them and thank them for coming, because that's really their agenda here, is to be able to motivate them and let them know that they're working right now on a national level to really generate a lot of support for them here at home. So if they didn't know it now, they will by the end of this tour. That's the goal.
Yeah, excellent. And of course, you know, you of all people, I've said this before, you have a major op. You've covered Onslow County since you've come to News Channel 12. And today, not only do we have a local spotlight from our standpoint on Camp Lejeune and all that goes on there, especially on a day like today, but the nation is watching. I've heard it on the nightly news, the early morning news, and talk about it. How does it feel as someone who's lived in Onslow County?
You know, it's really exciting, especially like you mentioned, I've been here since I started at News Channel 12, and it's really neat to see the community excited about seeing this kind of visit coming in. And even as I'm looking out just right past our camera here, we see a lot of highway patrolmen that are out. And, you know, I gotta say, they probably wouldn't like me to name names, but a couple of them are out here smiling too. It's an exciting time to be able to host the First Lady, the Second Lady. We've got a couple celebrity names coming in as well. It's a really neat opportunity to also be removed from the political aspect and be able to just engage on a human-to-human basis, Anna.
Oh, I agree with that. Carly, real quick, we want to remind our viewers this morning that not only is this going to be live on News Channel 12 right here, but of course on our sister station, which is Fox Eastern Carolina. That's of course as soon as the First Lady decides to take the podium here. We're of course waiting right now, and talk about the mood and talk about, actually I want to go ahead and see that video one more time. We put it in slow motion so that we could get a real good look of the First Lady and of course
that arrival.
Right, yeah, let's take a look at it. Explain to us what you saw.
Well, you know, it happened just moments before we came out here live to start broadcasting live. We saw it just a couple minutes before we came out, and we caught a quick glimpse on camera. I'm pretty sure it's something you're only going to see on News Channel 12, just a quick view of the First Lady making her way into the field house that I'm standing in front of now. It's something we've been waiting for on pins and needles since about 4:30 this morning for media, and I know a lot of people have been preparing for it for weeks ahead of time. But pretty neat to see right behind that Secret Service agent, seeing the First Lady just step on out and get ready to take the platform. Certainly just the appetizer to the full meal that we're waiting on right now.
Excellent. Carly, I don't know if you can see this, but we have a great shot right now. Our cameraman has a great shot of the podium. We're actually waiting. It looks like everything's in order for this to begin here. So we're...
Yep, we had the Marine Corps band playing just a little while ago, and we're going to go ahead and take a live look and a live listen in.
Well, this is going to be a great day.